A Utah powerhouse, 17-time state champion, but the Jim and Rich has room for an 18th banner.
Dug up by the Eagles. Lyman sets it up for Hansen. Blocked. Touched over. They're going to call it a double hit.
A school with a long tradition and legacy. A tradition and legacy of excellence, success, and, of course, championships.
Walker with the service. Stacy receives. Good pass. Cornea doesn't have to move. Wallenstein's hit. Deflected to the floor. It dropped into the donut hole. Bryce Hansen.
Rebel Volleyball is brought to you by Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, the Come On in Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau.
A quick back set to Staple. Back corner. Kendall finds the spot.
This is Rich Rebel Volleyball. Rebel fans, get comfortable, strap it down, and enjoy another broadcast of Rich Volleyball. We head down to the court to join the voice of the Rich Rebels, Mckee Peterson.
Good evening, Rebel fans, and welcome into Tabiona High. We apologize for the delay. I'm Mckee Peterson, and we welcome you into another broadcast of Rebel Volleyball here as the Rich Rebels take on the Tabiona Tigers. If you are watching the live stream on mylocalradio.com, I am very sorry for the technical issues we have had thus far. Technology can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. Right now, it's the latter, but me and the entire Tabiona staff are trying hard to fix something as we get ready for volleyball here. Let's get into our scene set really quickly, but first and foremost, welcome into the Town of Randolph pregame show. We got a lot to cover here, and we're going to do it very quickly. Let's dive right into our scene set right now. So Rich entering with a 15-5 overall record. They're coming off that sweep loss against Emory, but the silver lining, or the big story, was really going 4-1 in that Richfield State Preview Tournament. As for Tabiona, they are 10-8 on the season, and they are 9th out of 18 in their last RPI ranking, and they are coming off a 3-1 win over Parowan. If I said that correctly, you are listening to mylocalradio.com and on 98.3 FM K80Q. So we are going to be going forward like this on the live stream. We're trying to make it as good as possible for you back at home. All right, Rebel fans, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we've got more to cover here on the Town of Randolph pregame show.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of almost 6,300 feet and with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that's one reason the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, respect, a love for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Lynn Weston and the town board proudly support the Rich Rebels and hope you'll be able to visit soon and come back often.
Rebel fans, to our Town of Randolph pregame show. Let's continue on for the second part of our scene set. So Rich defeated Tabiona 3-0 on homecoming night with a fun. Okay, Rebel fans, I'm very sorry. The internet is just being a foe, not a friend right now. Hopefully you can hear me, and we're making the best of a tough situation right now. We're going to continue on in our Town of Randolph pregame show. We're going to get into our Stacy's Repair Coaches show next. So stick around for that as we work through some internet issues here from Tabiona. Keep it right here on Rebel Radio 98.3 FM K80Q.
Welcome into the Stacy's Repair Coaches show. I'm with Tabiona Tigers volleyball head coach, Coach Lasby. Coach, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. It's the second time we've done this. as the Rebels and the Tigers will face off for round 2 this season, this time at Tabiona. Your team has gone on a hot streak, though, since they last played at Rich. I looked at the schedule, and you guys rattled off a handful of wins.
We're in, and, we're just going, just everyone's doing their part. Is that basically what we're going with right now? We're not worrying about the other teams. We're just doing our best on our side.
Coach Lazenby, the last time you guys went up against the Rebels, you gave them 3 tough sets, and it was hard-earned wins for Rich in those 3 sets. What can you guys do to improve for the second round with Rich based on what you learned in the first round?
So I've watched that game probably 100 times since then, and I really think just mentally being strong and being finishers at the end. We had a lot of opportunities to win those games, and I think it just all comes down to being mentally strong and being finishers in the end.
I'm here on the Stacy's Repair Coaches Show with Tabiona head coach, Coach Lazenby. Coach, one final question, and I'll let you get back to preparing for the matchup against the Rich Rebels. This season has been unique, unlike any other. What kind of emotions and accomplishments maybe are you feeling now that the finish line is truly in sight?
I'm excited for the finish line to be in place. I think we've had a great season, and we just really worked hard, and you've seen the girls improve so much over the season and gain confidence and be more in control. And I think they're ready for state. I'm ready for state, and I feel like in the RPI, anyone 1 through 8 or 9, we're all pretty equal, and I think it's going to be a really good state tournament, and I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that state tournament as well. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome.
That is Tabiona Volleyball head coach, Coach Lazenby, here on the Stacy's Repair Coaches Show.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of almost 6,300 feet and with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that's one reason the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, respect, a love for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Lynn Weston and the town board proudly support the Rich Rebels and hope you'll be able to visit soon and come back often.
Welcome back, Rebel fans. As we get close to the starting lineup, I just want to offer another apology for the internet issues, and let me tell you about our Town of Randolph pregame show and what we had go on in it. So we, of course, just had a half of our Stacy's Repair Coaches show. Take it to the ones who truly care. That's Stacy's Repair. Unfortunately, we won't be able to hear from Coach Lamborn as we are about to start. If you can see on the My Local Radio stream, we're getting the starting lineup for the Tabiona Tigers right now. And we'll skip ahead some parts in our Town of Randolph pregame show. Let's talk about our pregame slice brought to you by Old Chicago Pizza in Logan. I'm going to tell you guys this. The gym in Tabiona is magnificent. I heard they recently redone it, and that's by no surprise. It's a great gym here and a good sized crowd. Right now, all Tabiona's players and fans are wearing pink T-shirts. So I'd imagine that there's some sort of theme to go along with it, as we are in usually Breast Cancer Awareness Month territory, so that may be what's going on here. All right, that's our Old Chicago pregame slice. Our Lutz Construction starting lineups, it's the usual suspects. We've got McKenna Stacy, Sage Tingy, the two seniors, Annie Peer, a junior, alongside her fellow junior, Brittany Lamborn. Then J.C. Cornea, another senior, and then Mackenzie Smith, the third junior of the bunch, and that's our starting lineups. All right, we're getting the national anthem played here. We will step aside for that, and when we return, it's time for Rebel Volleyball from Tabiona against the Tigers.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Fair River Drive, Evanston.
Welcome back to Tabiona. We're about to get started here between the 15-5 Rebels and the 10-9 Tigers. It's the final game of the regular season. Rebels number 1 in RPI last time I checked, and a win here would do all that but would do a lot more than just solidify that. All right, the starting lineup for Tabiona, they're sending out freshman Cicely Fabrizio, junior Abby Rhodes, Mercedes Rhodes as well, a pair of sisters. Then there is Jana Jenkins, and we're actually ready for our Town and Country Realty beginning serve. It goes too deep and right past the arms of Smith for an ace, and the Tigers lead 1-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Second serve goes into the net for a Rebel point, and Rich is tied 1-1, and now we get ready for the Rebels to begin service. It's Brittany Lamborn. Her serve, hard serve right down the middle. Tigers react to it, and they set up for a strike. Goes to Smith. She passes to Peart, and Cornea will knock it over near the net. Tigers setting up their offense, and they're going to balloon it across. Smith receives it. Cornea sets up for Stacy. She swings hard. It's partially tipped out of play, and a Rebel point. And it's now 2-1 Rich on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels with an early advantage here in Tabiona. Service by Lamborn, low serve, picked up there by Fabrizio, and Fabrizio knocks it across to Tingy. Now here comes Cornea setting it up for Peart. She gets it right in the middle of the defense, and Tabiona scrambles to it and gets it across. There's, once again, Tingy waiting for it. Cornea sets up, Peart hits from the 10-foot line, a whistle is blown, and they'll call a double hit on Tabiona to push the Rebel advantage to 2. It's 3-1 Rich. 3-1 Rebels. Lamborn serves. It's too deep. A point for Tabiona to bring them back within 1. 3-2. Rebels still ahead here from Tabiona, Utah. Service by the Tigers by Lazenby. Cornea setting, Peart striking cross court, and she's able to find a piece of that line for a Bear Lake Realty kill. And the Rebels lead by 2. It's 4-2. Here comes the serve now from Annie Peart. Goes to Lazenby. Running in to get it was Rhodes, and Tabiona knocks it across. Cornea setting, Stacy hitting hard into a block, but it's going to fall on Tabiona's end for a Rebel point. 5-2 Rich. They are leading comfortably. And as I say that, Annie Peart serves into the net for a Tabiona point to bring the Tigers back within 2. 5-3 Rebels here in our Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. Service from Tabiona is too wide. Point for the Rebels on the service error off the arms of McKinley Strabel. Rebels push their lead back to 3. It's 6-3. Service from Cornea goes to Strabel. Poor pass, and Tabiona runs after and gets it in back. Tingy pokes it in, and Sage Tingy with a soft Bear Lake Realty kill, but a kill nevertheless. It's now 7-3 Rebels. Cornea for his second serve. Trickles over the net. Tabiona reacts to it. They palm it across. There's Peart passing to Cornea. Stacy hits hard. Goes to Strabel. Back and forth we go. It's on the Tabiona end. Hard hit there from Abby Rhodes. Finds a piece of that Rebel court for a Tiger point. 7-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Miley Strabel, a sophomore, serves now for the Tigers. Right down the middle goes to Peart. Cornea runs into set, and it's going to be Stacy calmly knocking it across. Here's Rhodes passing and hitting for her sister Abby Rhodes. Rebel defense up to the task. As Stacy now hits, it's partially tipped, hits the floor, and another Bear Lake Realty kill for McKenna Stacy. That's her second here in the Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. 8-4 Rebels. Stacy serves, and she picks up a Crawford Trough service ace as the ball ricochets off a Tabiona arm into the bleachers for another Rebel point. 9-4 Rich. Stacy serves down the middle. Received now by Allred, and it's passed across by Fabrizio. Cornea setting it up for Huffaker. She hits. It's partially tipped, but the Tigers can rally to it, and they cannot poke it across. It's a double hit. That's an infraction, and now it's 10-4 Rebels. Stacy with her third serve, a low serve, a diving effort is going to be teed off for Dixie Huffaker as it's immediately responded to the Rebel end, and it's 11-4, and the Rebels are going to go to the coaches. Are going to go to see their coach after a T7 propane timeout is called by Coach Lazenby of Tabiona. We'll step aside. Rebels lead 11-4 in the first set on the Station on Main scoreboard.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Rebels with an 11-4 advantage on the Station on Main scoreboard midway through our first set presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet. It's against the Tabiona Tigers, and here's the serve from Stacy. Sky-high response is going to be played near the net, and a low hit by Mercedes Rhodes will give the Rebels their 12th point. Rich swept Tabiona the last time they met way back on homecoming. Stacy serves down the middle. Set from Tabiona on the far side, cross-court hit, goes to the fingertips of Cornea for a Tiger point. 12-5, Rich up 7. Back to serve for Tabiona is Abby Rhodes, a junior. She serves to another junior, Annie Peart. Cornea sets for Huffaker. She hits into a block that's not built high enough. A point for the Rebels, 13-5, Rich. Back to serve now is Mackenzie Smith. Smith serves down the line, goes to Lazenby. Now it's set up for Lazenby. She hits into an Epic Recreation block built by Sage Tingy. Tingy passes to Cornea. Peart hits to the back line. And the Tigers are going to run after it, and it's going to fly into the bleachers for a Rebel point. It's now 14-5. Rich adding on to their lead here in the first set. Smith serves down the line. Jenkins sets up, and it's hit into a partial block by Annie Peart, but ultimately hits the Rebel floor for a Tiger point. 14-6, Rich up 8. Here comes the serve from Fabrizio, a freshman, off the arms of Lamborn and out of play for an ace. And it's now a 7-point game. 14-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Fabrizio serves too deep. Rebel point. They're back up by 8. 15-7 here in the Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. Now it's Taylor McKee's turn to serve. Her serve goes down the middle. It's run after by Lazenby and played near the net and poked across. There's Cornea for Rich, passing over to Lamborn, who can only knock it across. Tigers setting it up here, and they're going to hit to the back line, and Stacy, who runs after it, she gets to it. Cornea now passes for Peart, who hits hard, and it's blocked up in the air, and the Tigers, on their third hit from behind the 10-foot line, have Lazenby knock it across. It's too deep, and it's a point for Rich. 16-7. Rebels cruising here in the first set. Now it's McKee serving again. Her serve is played near the net. It's blocked and dug up by Cornea. McKee with a dump set across. Set here for Lazenby, who uses one hand to strike it over. Lamborn immediately returns it to Tabiona's end. And another hard hit here from Fabrizio, dug up by Lamborn. Smith passes to Peart, who punches it down the middle. And the Tigers are going to set up with a dump set by Rhodes. It's run after by Stacy, who will play it too far out of play. And no Rebel has cheetah legs to run after that one. It's a point for Tabiona. 16-8. Rebels up by 8 on the Station on Main scoreboard in the first set from Tabiona High. Here's the serve from Fabrizio. Goes down the middle to Stacy. Cornea setting. Peart striking. It's partially tipped and out of play for a Rebel point and a Bear Lake Realty kill. 17-8. Rebels on top. Lamborn, who started serving for Rich, serves now, and this time she serves into the net. 17-9 as we update the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels leading. Here comes the serve from Lazenby. Trickles over the net for an ace. Smith tried to dive for it, but the Rebel defense not ready for that change of pace. And it's now 17-10. Rebels leading by 7. Peyton Lazenby, a senior, her second serve. This time she does not get help from the net gods. It will be a service error. 18-10. It's Annie Peart now to serve. Annie's serve is going to be a service ace. Bounces off the arms of Fabrizio at the back line, goes out of play, and the Rebels make it a 19-10 game now. Rich leading as Peart serves too deep, and Fabrizio this time holds off. 19-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich up. Here comes the serve from Strabel. It goes to Lamborn. Cornea setting for Huffaker, who punches it to the back line to Rhodes. She passes near the net, and Jenkins cannot quite get to it. And a point for the Rebels. 20-11, Rich up 9. Service from Rich down the middle. Set up here by Jenkins. Struck on there by Fabrizio. Rebels rally around it and pass to Stacy, who knocks it down to the Tabiona end. Here's a hit from Lazenby and a great dig by Brittany Lamborn, and the Rebels have it again. Cornea setting, Stacy hitting. We have a rally going. Rhodes setting up on the near side for her sister Rhodes. She gets it out of play. That was Mercedes Rhodes setting up Abby Rhodes, and the Rebels ultimately get the point. 21-11 in the Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. Service now by Cornea is played near the net on the initial return, and Tabiona digs it out and knocks it across. There's Cornea passing to Tingy. Huffaker hitting from the 10-foot line, and Huffaker picking up a Bear Lake Realty kill. 22-11. Rebels are on pace here to really make it a quick one. Cornea, though, serves into the net for a Tiger point. We're back to a 10-point game, 22-12. Abby Rhodes, a junior, service, goes to Lamborn. She gets low to deal with it. It comes right across, and patiently waiting was Abby Rhodes to punch it down for an easy point. 22-13. Here's the service from Miley Strabel. Goes to Annie Peart. Cornea runs after it to get it, and then Peart will pass it across. Tabiona gets to the ball. They pass near the net, and Huffaker waits for it to calmly push it down on the Tiger end for a Rebel point. 23-13. Here's the serve from Stacy. Her serve is too deep. It's a point for Tabiona, and they are back within a handful, but it's quite a bit. 23-14. Rebels 2 points away from winning the Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. Abby Rhodes service goes to Annie Peart, and it goes off the ventilating ducts above us and awkwardly hits a Rebel part of the floor for a Tabiona point. 23-15. Here's Rhodes to serve again. Her serve goes to Lamborn, who misplays it initially. Stacy recovers, though, and Cornea knocks it over. Strabel passes near the net, struck on by Lazenby. It's too deep, and it's a point for Rich. They are 1 point away from going up 1-0. It's 24-15. 24-15, and Mackenzie Smith will now serve. Smith serves down the middle, received by Lazenby, passed on by Strabel, and it's knocked over to the Rebel end. Stacy passes to Cornea, who sets up Sage Tingy, who dump sets it across. Tabiona knocking it across their end, and ultimately McKinley Strabel will knock it over. Tingy setting it up, and she'll just dump set it over. 2 sets in a row by Tingy. Knocked across by Lazenby. Cornea receives it, passed up for Annie Peart, and she will end it with a kill. Annie Peart doesn't let anyone get to it on a rocket shot. 25-15, our final score in the first set. Rebels win by 10 over the Tabiona Tigers. Rich got out to an early lead after falling behind 1-0, and they never looked back. That will do it for set number 1. Rebels 1, Tabiona 0 on the Station on Main scoreboard.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
appreciate all of our pregame sponsors. That's brought to you by the town of Randolph. I know we were unable to get to the full Stacy's Repair Coaches show, so what I'm going to do is if you want to hear the interview with Coach Lamborn, I'm going to upload it to my local radio, and you can hear that 2.5-minute chat I had with her as her side gets ready for playoff volleyball. We appreciate Stacy's Repair. Take it to the ones who truly care. That's Stacy's Repair. All right, here we go. It's Brittany Lamborn for set number 2, and it will start things off with a service ace from Lamborn. Rebels up 1-0, leading 1-0 in the set department. And Rich scores the first point. It's our Town & Country Realty beginning serve. Talk to Pam Cornea for all of your Bear Lake needs there. As Lamborn serves down the middle, goes to Lazenby, and it's played across to the Rebel end, and Tingy unable to get to it, deflects out of play, and it's a point for the Tigers, 1-1. For our score here on the Station on Main scoreboard. Service goes across to the Rebel end, and it's passed across by Cornea. Lazenby receives it, set up by Mercedes Rhodes for Lazenby, who hits, and that's a point for Tabiona. They're now up 2-1 off the Lazenby kill. Service by Rhodes. Goes to Stacy, was set up for her on the far side, and she does not give it enough strength on the punch across. Goes into the net, and Tabiona quietly up to a 3-1 lead right now. Service again from the Tigers. Stingy deals with it at her knees. Cornea knocks it across. Lazenby passes near the net, and she knocks it over. A whistle is blown. A double hit on Tabiona. It's 3-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels trailing. Annie Peart to serve. Her serve goes down the middle, received by Fabrizio. Pass by Rhodes for Lazenby. She hits too deep, and it's a point for Rich to knot us up at 3. We're all even at 3 here in the second set. Rich leads 1-0 as Peart gets a little help from the net, trickles over. Tabiona runs in to get it, and it's going to be played across by Callie Fabrizio. Cornea setting up for Huffaker. She tries to balloon it over, and Callie Fabrizio just can't make her mind up, and it hits the Tabiona portion of the floor for a Rebel point. They're on top for the first time in the second set since the opening serve, 4-3. Service by Peart is a Crawford Trough service ace. Annie Peart finding a sweet spot in the defense to build her team's lead to 2. It's 5-3 Rebels. Peart for her third straight serve. It'll go to the far side of Lazenby, set up by Mercedes Rhodes and knocked across by Callie Fabrizio. There's Lamborn receiving it. Cornea setting for Stacy. She hits hard into a block, and Huffaker will pass to Peart, who runs into a block as well. The Rebels in their third attempt have Stacy hit even harder, and it's blocked and dug up by Stacy. Cornea setting, Peart hitting. This time it goes through the block, and it goes off the fingertips of Cicely Fabrizio for a Rebel point. 6-3 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. In the second set, leading 1-0, and a quick point by Tabiona to respond. So it's 6-3, but 6-4, but scoreboard reads 6. Yeah, there it is. Now it's 6-4. Service by Tabiona now will go down the middle to Tingy. Cornea setting. Stacy hitting into a block. Huffaker gets after it. Then Cornea passes to Huffaker on the far side. This time it gets across the block. And a big hard hit now by Abby Rhodes. It's going to go off the arms of Annie Peart and out of play for a Tabiona point to bring them within 1. It's 6-5. Rich on top, leading 1-0. Peyton Lazenby, a senior, serves. Too deep. Country mile deep, and it's 7-5 Rebels. J.C. Cornea, a senior, serves. And the two sides exchange service errors. Called a wash. 7-6. Rebels leading. Here comes the junior Strabel service. Goes to Annie Peart, who does not receive it well. Goes into the bleachers for a service ace. And we're all even at 7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels lead 1-0. McKinley Strable with her second serve now. The libero serves down the middle to Peart, goes to pass to Cornea, and now it's hit by Huffaker. Cornea knocks it across, and a miscommunication by a pair of Tigers as the ball hit the floor for a Rebel point to retake the lead. It's 8-7 Rich. Stacy serves, low serve down the middle. Tabiona breaks their back to get to it, but they ultimately get it across. Cornea passing now for Lamborn, who dump sets it over, received by the libero. Played near the net and punched into that netting for a Rebel point to extend their lead back to double digits. It's 9-7 Rebels in the second set. Service by Stacy. Tabiona hits, and it goes to Annie Peart. Cornea setting as Lamborn has it blocked, and Huffaker knocks it across. Tabiona setting up for an attack. It's hit over. And now Cornea setting here for Huffaker, who hits off a Tiger arm, and it is now 9-7. 9-7 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stacy gets a little help from the net, trickles across to Cicely Fabrizio, has it set up for her, and she hits into the net for another Rebel point. It's 10-7 Rich. Rebels leading by 3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Here's McKenna Stacy to serve now. Her serve is hard but short and into the net. Tabiona crawling back within 2. It's 10-8. 10-8 Rich. Miley Strable, a sophomore, will serve. Her serve goes down to the far side. Cornea passing after initial response by Stacy, and the Tigers play it somehow across. The Rebels try to dig it up. A lift is called on Rich, and it's now a 1-point game. 10-9. Rebels won that first set handily. 25-15. Not the same story in the second set. Tigers serve. First touch by Stacy. Cornea sets up for Lamborn, and she awkwardly hits it, but it does a job and gets across. And it's a point for the Rebels. 11-9. 2-point advantage for Rich, leading 1-0. Service now by Smith goes to Lazenby, played near the net, and it's set up and hit into an epic recreation block by Annie Peart. And that adds to the Rebel tally. It's 12-9 Rich. 12-9 Rebels. Mackenzie Smith serves. It'll go to Strable. It's passed up on the near side and hit by Mercedes Rhodes, and a great attempt for a dig by McKenna Stacy is not good enough as it goes into the crowd for a Tabiona point. 12-10. Rich up by 2. Here's Abby Rhodes, a junior. Her service goes to Stacy, who handles it well. Cornea sets up for Lamborn. She punches it to the back line. It's in the middle for the Tigers, and it's set up for Lazenby, who hits into the net for a Rebel point. 13-10 Rich. They're up by 3 in our second set. McKee serves now. She checks in. Her service goes right down the middle of this defense, and Lazenby tries to find a hole as she dump sets it over, but too deep. And the Rebels adding to their lead. It's 14-10. They lead 1-0 over the Tabiona Tigers. McKee now to serve. Trickles over the net. Lazenby gets low, and she will now knock it across on the third hit. Goes to Stacy. Cornea sets up here for Peart, who hits into a block but gets across. And it's dump setted over. Cornea passing now for Lamborn, and her hit is deflected out of play for a kill, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. 15-10. Speaking of Bear Lake Realty, I saw Gary McKee in the crowd earlier. As McKee, his daughter, serves too deep. On to play, Rebel point. 15-11, Tiger point, 15-11. Rich leads by 4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Cicely Fabrizio now serves. Too deep, and the two sides exchange service errors. Rich back up by 5. It's 16-11. Lamborn with a 5-point cushion serves, barely gets across the net, and that will go down as a service ace. 17-11, Rich, after the Lamborn-Crawford trough ace. Here's Lamborn's second serve. Right down the middle to Lazenby, set up by Rhodes for Fabrizio. She sets it over to Mckee. Cornier runs in to get it, and Peart hits. It's partially tipped, but the Tabiona Tigers setting it up for their third hit. Now it's Lazenby with one hand hitting too deep, and a point for the Rebels. 18-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich on top. Service by Lamborn will go to Fabrizio. Set up now by Rhodes and swung on, and that's going to go off the arms of Brittany Lamborn. A kill for Peyton Lazenby. 18-12, Rich leads by 6. Service from the Tigers is going to be in for an ace. Smith thought it might be deep, but it finds a piece of that line for a Tabiona point. 18-13. Service now again by Tabiona. This time it is too deep, and Smith knew that. It is 19-13 Rebels. They won the first set 25-15, and now they're pulling away in the second set. Here comes the serve from Annie Peart. It's a service ace. Too much for Cicely Fabrizio to deal with, and Annie Peart gives the Rebels their 20th point of the second set. 20-13, Rich, over Tabiona. Peart serves. This time it goes into the net. A handful of service errors for each side thus far. That's something both coaches are going to be displeased with after this. 20-14 Rebels. Here comes the serve from the Tigers, and that is another service error, this time coming from Lazenby. Two sides, I don't know if they think it's Christmas morning, but they keep giving each other these easy presents of points. 21-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Cornea serves right down the middle. It's too close to the net, but it's dug out by Rhodes and knocked across the Rebel end. Cornea sets up for Stacy. She hits. It's blocked and dug up by McKenna. Cornea restarts as she sets for Stacy. This time it gets through the defensive wall. Lazenby runs in the pass, and it's swung on into the net by Abby Rhodes for a Rebel point. 22-14, Rich over Tabiona. A T7 propane timeout is called. We'll step aside. Rebels leading comfortably. They're up 1-0, and they're up in the second set, 22-14.
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabian, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell, welcome you and say,
Go Red Rebels!
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Rebels lead the Tabiona Tigers 22-14. They're up 1-0. We appreciate you making Rebel Radio a part of your Friday night. We had the football game yesterday, and now volleyball team trying to pick up a win for Rich. And the serve from Cornea sails out of play for a Tabiona point. They're trailing by 7, 22-15. Here comes the libero serve, Strabel. Her serve goes too deep, and another service error. 22-15, Rich. Or 23-15. As the service from Rich is going to be in for an ace. McKenna Stacy gets a Crawford Trough service ace, and it's now set point. 24-15 Rebels. Here comes the serve now from Stacy. Her serve right down the middle, teed up for Hufferker, and Dixie Hufferker gets one of the easier kills she'll have all season, and that will do it for set number 2. Rebels win 25-15, a carbon copy of that first set final, and Rich now looking to sweep the Tigers on the road. We'll step aside, and when we return, we'll have our third set of Rebel volleyball here on Rebel Radio 98.3 FM.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Fair River Drive, Evanston.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Back to Tabiona, Utah. We're set for set number 3 between the Rebels and the Tigers. Rich won the first 2 sets 25-15. And now we're ready for our third set, brought to you by the town of Randolph. Rebels swept the Tabiona Tigers last time they met on the hardwood. It was back at Rich on homecoming night. And Rebels look to do the same here in the regular season finale. Blink your eyes, and this season has gone by just like that. But I, for one, am very excited for playoff volleyball. That's looming ahead. The Rebels have pretty much a first-round bye locked up. Even a loss, I don't think, would lose it for the Rebels, but they're only one set away from winning. So Rich in a good spot here to confirm that number 1 seed. We're going to update our station on main scoreboard. We'll reset our score. And it's 2-0 Rich in the set department as we get ready here for our third set. It's going to be a serve from Mercedes Rhodes to start us off. Rhodes bouncing the ball a couple times, waiting the green light from the official to start it off, and here we go. Rhodes to serve for Tabiona, trailing 2-0. Her serve is deep, and the Rebels are awarded the first point. 1-0 Rich in set number 3. And now here is Taylor Mckee to serve. Strong serve and a great ace. An ace for Mckee, and the Rebels double their lead. It's 2-0 to start the third set. Mckee for her second serve, and it's near back-to-back service aces, but it's returned to the Rebel end, and now it's Lamborn lofting the ball over a wall for a Bear Lake Realty kill. 3-0, Rebels open up this third set with a hat trick. Mckee, this time a low serve. She knows it from the moment it hit her arm. 3-1, Rebels on top on the station on main scoreboard. Here comes the serve from Lazenby, and it's off the arms of Stacy and out of play. An ace for Tabiona, 3-2. Rich up by 1. Lazenby now getting ready for her second serve. A senior. Serve from the middle. It goes to Smith, and Cornea dives after it, but back-to-back strong serves from Lazenby ties the score up. It's 3-3. Rebels lead 2-0. Lazenby serves, goes to Stacy, well handled. Cornea sets up for Lamborn. She hits too low, though, into the net for a Tiger point. 3-4. Rebels now trailing. The only time they've trailed tonight when it was either 2-1 or 1-0. Lazenby for another serve, goes to Smith in the middle. Cornea sets up. Lamborn strikes the back line. Fabrizio passes to Rhodes, and it's knocked to the Rebel end. Now Cornea sets up here for Peart. She hits into a wall dug up by Lamborn, and it comes off the Rebel end, and an easy kill for a patiently waiting Callie Fabrizio, and it's 5-3 Tabiona. Rich got out to a 3-0 lead, and now it's a 5-0 run for the Tigers. Service from Lazenby goes to McKee. Cornea sets. Peart hits into a block. Dug up now by Smith. And Lamborn strikes hard. Poke to the Rebel end. Cornea dump sets across. And a heads-up play by J.C. Cornea. Found a hole in the defense. Tabiona was unable to react quick enough to get to it. It's now 5-4 Tabiona. Service from Lamborn goes to Lazenby, tracked down by Mercedes Rhodes, hit by Fabrizio. It's out of the two referees disagreed, but they're going to say it was a kill. One said it was out, one said it was in, and they agreed to call it in for a Tiger point. 6-4, Rebels down 2. McKinley Strable now will serve. Her serve right down the middle to Smith. Cornea runs after it, and it's stuck and dancing across the top of the net. A double hit is going to be called on Tabiona as that ball just parked itself right on top of the net, and Tabiona unable to hit it over in one go. 6-5, Rebels trail in the third set. They're up 2-0 though in the set world. Here comes the serve by Peart. It goes right immediately across after a response from the Tigers as Huffaker balloons it across the defense, and it's a kill brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Thanks to Dixie Huffaker, and we are all tied up at 6-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Annie Peart set to serve again. Her serve goes to the libero, pass to Fabrizio, and knocked across by Rhodes. Goes down the middle to Lamborn. Cornea sets. Huffaker hits, received by Mercedes Rhodes. Pass across and hit by Abby Rhodes into the net from the 10-foot line for a Rebel point. And Rich retakes the lead. They are up 7-6. They've gone on a 4-1 run. Annie Peart helping out big time there as her serve is played out of bounds. It would have been a service error. Instead, it turns into a service ace. It's now 8-6. Rebels up 2 in the Town of Randolph third set. Service by Peart down the middle. Knocked across by Abby Rhodes. First touch by McKee, set up for Huffaker, who lofts it across the defense. Tabiona scrambling to get to it. Fabrizio hits into a wall. Huffaker says, don't mind me, let me bash that back to your end, and now it's on the Rebel part of the court. Cornea sets. Stacy hits hard off the arms of Strable and out of play for another Rebel kill. 9-6, Rich up by 3 now in the third set, leading 2-0. Here comes the serve from Peart, right down the middle. First touch by Rhodes, and Abby Rhodes runs after it. She gets it across. McKee sets for Huffaker. She hits hard into a block, then digs it up and knocks it across. The two sides meet at the net. It's on the Rebel, it's on the Tabiona, and then Huffaker hits, and we have a rally going here as Lazenby from behind the 10-foot line knocks it across. Cornea sets for the Rebels. Stacy swings, partially tipped, dug up by Rhodes. Mercedes Rhodes passes to her sister, Abby Rhodes, and she does the rest as Brittany Lamborn's unable to get to the ball completely for a Tiger point. 9-7, Rebels up by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Miley Strable, a sophomore, will now serve. Her serve goes to Lamborn, and it is going to be played out of bounds, and no Rebel was quick enough to get to it. 9-8, Rebels up by 1. Strable for her second serve now will go to Stacy. Cornea sets now for Huffaker. She hits to the back line, but it's too deep, out of play. We are tied 9-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich leads 2-0. Strable's serve goes to Lamborn. Cornea receives it and then sets up for Stacy, who hits it well out of bounds for a Tabiona point. 10-9, Tigers over the Rebels. Service by Strable goes to Stacy. Cornea sets for Stacy. She hits, dug up there by Strabel. It's knocked across by Lazenby. First touch by Lamborn. Cornea sets for Hufferker. It's played to the Tiger end, and now it's set up by Mercedes Rhodes for Abby Rhodes. Received by Stacy, has it set up for her. She hits hard, and the frustration from McKenna Stacy pays off. A hard kill. We're even at 10. A close third set thus far. Brought to you by the town of Randolph. Rebels lead 2-0. JC Cornea, the senior, will serve. Goes to Strabel. It's a sky-high response. A pair of Tigers run after it, and they're unable to knock it to the Rebel end. It's a point for Rich. 11-10, they're back on top. These two sides have swapped the lead a couple of times here. This may go all the way down to the 25th point or more. JC set to serve again. Her serve goes to the far side. First touch by Abby Rhodes. Played near the net, and then Rhodes hits out of play. It was close. Looking for that far corner. She doesn't get it. Rebels push their advantage to 2, a slim lead, 12-10. Cornea serves into the net, and we're back to a 1-point game. 12-11, Rebels on top over the Tabiona Tigers in our town of Randolph third set. Here comes the serve from Abby Rhodes. The junior serves to another junior, Brittany Lamborn. Cornea sets, Hufferker hits, Hufferker kills. 13-11 after a Bear Lake Realty kill. Rebels on top by 2. As we wait for the ball to be returned to the Rebel end. And now McKenna Stacy with that strong serve. Run, jump, hit. Down the middle, go to Abby Rhodes. And it's punched across by Lazenby. Annie Peart initially gets to it, then Stacy passes to Cornea, who can only calmly knock it across. Tabiona setting it up near the net for Lazenby. She partially has it blocked, and great reactions by Brittany Lamborn get it over, and then it's a low hit from Cicely Fabrizio for a Rebel point, 14-11. I'll tell you what, those reaction speeds from Brittany Lamborn may be our Dr. McKay Franken precision play of the game. It was partially tipped in. Great athleticism displayed by Lamborn to knock it across. Service from Stacy is a service ace. Crawford Trough service ace from McKenna Stacy, and the Rebels lead 15-11. They're pulling away a little bit here in the third set. They lead 2-0. Stacy serves. A low serve, well received by Tabiona, and Lazenby plays it across. Punched in the air by Cornea, and Cornea, after having it passed to her, knocks it across. Tigers have Lazenby dump set it over. A diving effort by Stacy keeps it going. Cornea passes to Annie Peart, who hits from well behind the 10-foot line into the net for a Tiger point. They're back within 3. It's 15-12 on the station on main scoreboard. Service now from Callie Fabrizio. Cornea passes to Tingy, who hits into a block, and a point for Tabby. 15-13. Rebels lead by 2. Service from Tabiona goes to Lamborn. Cornea sets near the net. Hufferker hits in the middle over the defense, and Dixie Hufferker is just so good at using the balance of power and finesse to get it right in the heart of the defense. 16-13 Rebels after the kill. Smith serves. Poorly received, and it's played out of bounds off the arms of Callie Fabrizio. A tough serve initially. 17-13 Rebels back on top by 4. Leading 2-0 in our town of Randolph third set. Smith serves. Set now by Mercedes Rhodes. Callie Fabrizio hits to Stacy. Cornea sets. Swung on now by Peart, and the Tigers set up for a hit on the far side. A great dig by McKenna Stacy, and the Rebels cannot make the most of it, but wow, what a comprehensive family dental dig that was by McKenna. The point goes to Tabiona, though. 17-14, Rebels lead by 3. Service is into the net for a Rebel point, and we are in double digits in terms of low serves or deep serves from either side. 18-14 on the station on main scoreboard. McKee serves a service ace. Taylor McKee with an ace to give the Rebels a 5-point lead. It's 19-14 in the third set, brought to you by the town of Randolph. And a low serve by McKee. Nearly hit one of her teammates' heads. 19-15 Rebels. Lazenby serves for the Tigers. Goes to Stacy. Cornea sets, and Lamborn swings into the net. And 19-15 just turned into 19-16. A 3-point game on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels on top. Lazenby ready to serve for the third time. Lazenby serves to Smith and immediately knocked across. Tabiona setting it up for Fabrizio. She hits too low into the net. And the Rebels are 5 points away now from sweeping the Tigers on the road. It's 20-16. Service by Lamborn. Mercedes Rhodes has it passed near the net, and it goes out of play off the arms of a pair of Tigers. 21-16, a T7 propane timeout is called. Rebels lead the Tigers. We will step aside, and when we return, we'll have the conclusion of this third set. Rebels lead 2-0.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Welcome back to our third set. The Rebels lead 2-0. They are up 5 here, 21-16. During the break, Callie Fabrizio had some pain in her arm, and she has exited the game. We hope she's okay, but Fabrizio is out until further notice, and Tabiona will go into their bench now. Fabrizio has done such a great job this evening at the net. She's gotten in some blocks. She's swung on some strong hits, and hopefully she's okay. All right, the Rebels, though, do lead 21-16. They're 4 points away from ending their regular season on a good note. They will go into the playoffs probably / definitely the #1 team in RPI. RPI is that ranking system that the computer spits out that takes in your wins, your losses, how much you beat good teams, how much you beat bad teams, how much you lost by good teams, all that kind of stuff. I don't really know what the computer does, to be frankly honest with you, but it does give us a ranking, and the Rich Rebels were #1 last time I checked, and a win here is not going to drop them. 21-16, the two sides still talking things over as Tabiona had an injury to deal with and make a substitution. Tigers have made this third set very competitive. The first two sets, Rebels won 25-15, identical scores. This time it's 21-16, and the Tigers have had the lead a couple of times in this third set as well. It's always brought to you by the town of Randolph. And let's try and figure out who this new player in the game is for Tabiona. It's number 42. I'm going to get a name for you in a moment, but in the meantime, we have Lamborn serving for the Rebels. We'll get our Station on Main scoreboard up and ready. Here we go. 21-16 as Lamborn serves down the middle. A tough serve is dug up and knocked across by Lazenby. First touch by Lamborn. Cornea sets for Stacy. It's blocked back to the Rebel ends. Cornea sets up for Peart this time. She lofts it over the wall, and it's punched across the Rebel end by the Tabiona Tigers. Cornea sets. Stacy swings hard, but it's dug up by Lazenby. And Lazenby punches to the back line, and a diving effort from Lamborn is out of her reach. 21-17, Rebels lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Let's get that name for you now. Actually, I think they're going to give the point to the Rebels. They do indeed. 22-16. An infraction was called on Tabiona, and now it is 22-17. Service from the Tigers is too deep. No, it's in for an ace. Wow, it just kissed the line. A good serve from Tabiona. And they are trailing 22-18. They're down 4. Strabel takes over serving, gets over the net, and it's played across by the Rebels, dug up by Rhodes. As Tabiona parachutes it to the Rebel end. Hit by Peart, and a rally we have now at the 10-foot line, set for a low set for Abby Rhodes, who hits it to one of her teammates, and you only get 3 hits in volleyball. 23-18, Rebels lead by 5 once again. Service now by Peart is a low serve, but the Tabiona Tigers can handle it. They hit too deep, though. It's a point for the Rebels. They have set point now. 24-18 in set number 3, leading by 2. Service from Peart goes into the net. The set point will have to wait another serve at least. 24-19, Rebels up 5 on the station on main scoreboard. Service from Tabiona goes to Lamborn. Punched over by Cornea, received, and a couple of Tigers diving for it, and they get it across. McKee passes to Cornea, who has Huffaker hit, and Huffaker is going to have her kill denied, and it's played out of bounds, and now the Rebels get the point. 25-19 in set number 3, and the Rebels close out their regular season with a 3-0 sweep on the road over the Tigers of Tabiona. Rich improves to 16-5 as they get ready for playoff volleyball. And Coach Lamborn said the team is peaking at the right time, and you can see it there. Well, folks, we got our post-game show coming up now, so you'll want to stick around for that. But after 3, the Rebels win 3-0, and they win our third set 25-19 in Tabiona over the Tigers. Don't go far, Rebel fans. We've got more Rebel volleyball coverage here on Rebel Radio, so stick around.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The Town Council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
Whether you need a big bite to eat, a tasty snack, or a sweet treat, the Crawford Trough in Randolph has it all to satisfy your cravings. From tasty burgers and wraps, patty melts and perfect pitas to fresh salads, home-cut fries, crispy onion rings, and of course, that silky smooth ice cream. The Crawford Trough can feed your hunger and then some. And if you haven't tried one of the Trough's mixed sodas, your taste buds don't know what they're missing. Stop in today at the place to eat and drink, the Crawford Trough at 120 South Main, Randolph.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
Welcome into our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Rebels take down the Tigers in 3, and let's get into our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. So the Rebels won that final set 25-19, but let's rewind to set number 1. Tabiona scored the first point. That would be the only lead they had in the first set. The Rebels tied it 1-1, and they put on the gas after that. They would go on to win 25-15. That 10-point margin was the second largest. At one point, they led by 11, 22-11, and the Rebels cruised to an early victory in the Auto Farm Chevrolet first set. Then in set number 2, a identical final score, but not a similar path to it. Rebels scored the first point, and the two sides went back and forth. Tabiona had the lead at one point. We were tied for a little bit. The middle portion of that game was never more than a 2 to 3 point margin for either side. Rebels led predominantly. Then, though, towards the later end of that second set, the Rebels pulled away, and they would win 25-15. Third set, different story. You could tell the Tigers improved each and every single set throughout the match. Tabiona led up the first 3 points, and they responded by going on a 5-0 run to go up 5-3. And Tabiona and Rich swapped leads, had some ties in between, and ultimately it was the Rebels pulling out victorious 25-19. And that's our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. You can go visit Jimmy John at 113 Front Street in Evanston. I'll be honest with you, I love Jimmy John so much. When I heard they were sponsoring the post-game show, I would not have wanted anyone else to do it. Jimmy John's is the place to go, so go visit them in Evanston on Front Street. All right, we'll continue on in our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. We've got our post-game highlights, and then we've got our Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. So you'll want to keep it right here on Rebel Radio 98.3 FM KEDQ and at mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. If you're a person who enjoys comfort, affordability, and history, make sure you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn the next time you're in Evanston, Wyoming. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the 17-unit motel referred to as the Oasis of the West that was frequented by stars like Dolly Parton and Tanya Tucker. Today, when you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn, you'll enjoy the history while you relax in one of the 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres. Best Western Dunmar Inn. Reserve your rooms today, 307-789-3770.
Welcome back to the Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Rebels defeating the Tabiona Tigers in 3 sets. And let's continue on into our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital post-game highlights. We got a couple to pick from, including our Mckee Serving precision play of the game. I'm going to give that to Brittany Lamborn. In our Rich County Government third set, Lamborn had a ball fly to her after it was partially tipped at the net, and her reactions could not have been quicker. Immediately sends the ball right to the Tabiona end, gave them some mayhem, and that's our Mckee Serving precision play of the game. Dr. Mckee Serving gives you reasonable rates. You can go visit him in Evanston. Check him out at 170 Arrowhead Drive. And that's our Mckee Serving precision play of the game. Other Bear Lake Memorial Count on Us to Care post-game highlights. I want to touch on some strong play from McKenna Stacy. She had some rough goes in the middle stages of some matches, but really turned it on at the end. And that's one of her greatest strengths, her ability to know, all right, you know what, this is the business portion of the volleyball match, and she can turn it on. So some great kills from Stacy. We also saw some nice play from Dixie Huffaker. She won the second set with the final point. And all around, a great team win for the Rich Rebels. Every member of the team contributed at some point with a key play. And that's our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital post-game highlights. We're going to continue on in our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. When we return, we'll have our Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. So keep it right here on Rebel Radio. We will be right back for more Rebel volleyball coverage.
When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes good sense to work with a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Western Ag Credit is an independent cooperative owned by the farmers and ranchers who borrow from it. With competitive rates, your loan is tailored to match your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating expenses. When it comes to farming and ranching financing, Western Ag Credit in Evanston is your partner in agriculture. Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Back into our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Rebels take down the Tabiona Tigers 3-0 on the road. And we can now move into our Western Ag Credit here, the last part of our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. It's the Roundup calendar. So let's take a look ahead. So this upcoming Wednesday, October 21st, if I could speak English, the Rich High School Cross Country State Meet at Cedar City. The cross-country team did a great job at the regional meet in Manila just a few days ago earlier this week, and they'll go down south to Cedar City, a 3 and 3:30 start time, one for the boys, one for the girls. Then next Friday, we don't know who yet, but we'll find out probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. The football team has their first-round playoff game. Rich looking to bounce back from their loss last night down south in Monticello. So we got that to look forward to next Friday. We don't know where, but we don't know when either. But I'm excited for that. That's next Friday, October 23rd, and the next week. So next Saturday is when the first round of the volleyball state playoff tournaments begin. Rich is gonna have a bye. I'm gonna call it now, without even seeing the bracket. So the Rebels will have a bye in that first round. So they'll get started on Friday, October 30th. They'll have a bit of a siesta, as they will travel to Union High. That's not far from us here in Tabiona for a 2-day state playoff tournament. That's Friday, October 30th and Saturday, October 31st, Halloween. And so that's what we got going on in our Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. Your partner in agriculture and finance, and they know what they're talking about. All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up here from Tabiona. For my producer, Alyssa McDaniel, I'm Matthew Peterson signing off. Rebels defeat the Tabiona Tigers 3-0.
You've been tuned in to Rich High School Rebel Volleyball on Rebel Radio KADQ FM 98.3 with video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's match has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals: Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, the Come On Inn in Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder.